guys, how are you? Good. That was not words. How are y'all? I'm doing well. I have a story to tell you. Got a story for ya. Um, okay. Well, first things first. Before I tell the story, election day was yesterday. Obama, I believe, won. I mean, I don't believe. I know he won. So that's exciting. I mean, you can only do so much in 4 years. So kudos to him for winning. Let me see here. Um, so, in honor of elections, I want to know who you guys voted for and why. I'm not looking to argue or pick at anybody. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for because it's my right as an American citizen to keep that to myself. So, with that being said, I will leave that up for discussion between y'all. Okay, so now for my story. So at school, I have written down. If I look down ever, it's always because I'm looking at something. So, so this lady, I met her. I was on the phone with my mom, and I was talking to her about abortion. Just my mother and I having a conversation, and I hung up. And she said, "You were talking to your mom?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "About abortion?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Are you having one?" I said, "Of course not. No, I'm not having an abortion." And she was like, "Okay, good, because it is the worst experience that anyone can ever go through." I said, "Well, what do you mean? Like, do you have a story? Do you have an experience that you went through?" She was like, "Yes, I have. I got an abortion because I had a stillbirth. And the doctor recommended to wait for 2 months before, or for it to fully develop, and then she can give, like, premature birth to the baby, or they can take it out. I don't know how that works exactly. But they said to just wait a couple more weeks before they removed the fetus from her womb. But it was literally killing her from the inside and physically from the outside. It was killing her slowly. And so she was telling me how she had to get the abortion. So she went to Houston to get the abortion, downtown, because the Houston Medical Center is amazing. So she went downtown to get an abortion, but it wasn't like a well-known hospital. I think she said it was a, I don't know what kind of clinic it was, but it wasn't like one of the ones downtown. It was in downtown, but not one of the hospitals that's like really well known in downtown. And so she was saying how she went to this clinic and they did an abortion and she felt fine. But then on her way home, she started to feel really, really nauseous. So she asked her driver to stop, just stop the car, I feel sick. So they went to the gas station so she can go to the restroom. And she went to the restroom, she used the restroom, and she just, this is really disgusting, so sorry if you have a weak stomach, cover your ears until I do this. She basically delivered the rest of her baby. She noticed that there was this like round, bloody object that came out of her, and she was terrified. She didn't know what it was, so then she told her driver, and her driver drove back to the hospital. Okay, so those who your ears were closed, you can look now. So she went back to the hospital, and the doctor told her, well, the abortion clinic didn't take the baby out all the way. They only did half the baby, and now, I mean, you deliver the rest of the baby, or you basically deliver the rest of the baby. So then she didn't, like, it was like a half abortion and then a half not abortion. And so she said she was terrified, like just so, not terrified, traumatized from the event that she went through. And so she wasn't able to recover from that right away. Because then what happened next was she was trying to get pregnant again. And she wasn't able to because, well, she was able to get pregnant, and her baby around 3 or 4 months, she went to the restroom again, and she just, same thing that happened with the abortion. And so she just assumed she had a miscarriage. So she went to the doctor, and the doctor said that she had a miscarriage. She was devastated, right? So then, like, by 7, 8 months of somebody's pregnancy, she noticed that her stomach, like, continued to grow, and she was like, well, this is weird. So she went to the doctor again, and the doctor said that she was still pregnant. Now, she's like, oh my god, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. So then, by 9 months, she delivered. Or no, it was like month 8.5, and she was getting an ultrasound to make sure that like everything was normal and like the procedures they were gonna have to take to deliver the baby and all that. And she was a new mom, but she had done like her research before, like what a normal ultrasound looks like, and you know, what are the diseases and illnesses that a baby can be born with. And so of course, because she was scared, you know, she had an abortion because the baby, she had a stillbirth, and she was just worried that whatever her reasons were. And so she delivered her, but in the ultrasound, she noticed that where the head should be, it was darker. It wasn't the color that it was supposed to be. And so she talked to the ultrasound technician, and she said, no, your baby's normal, everything is fine. So she said, okay, but she knew that something wasn't right. You know, she just, mother's intuition, I guess, and but she knew that something wasn't right. So she, you know, she gave birth to the baby, and the baby was, I'd say, she said it was like it was 3 months old. The baby was 3 months old, and she noticed that the baby was not responding as quickly. She had great motor skills. She said she had great motor skills, and she had she could hear fine, but she wasn't able to see. And yeah, so she wasn't able to see. So she went to the doctor, and the doctor said she was fine, and she was going to have surgery to, I guess, I don't really know what she was getting surgery for, but she was going to get surgery. And the mom, the lady was like, well, you know, can we leave her here in case something happens to her? You know, I don't want to take her home if she's really this ill. And the doctor said, no, she'll be fine. Bring her at the end of the week. We'll do the procedure, and your baby will be fine. So then 3 days later, she told me, it was 3 days exactly after the doctor's appointment, she said she found her baby dead in the crib. She thought, well, maybe her husband accidentally suffocated the baby whenever he was sleeping with her, or the baby was sleeping with the father, and he just didn't think anything of it and put her back in her crib. And she blamed him for so long, and then the autopsy came back, and it turns out that the right side of her brain wasn't fully developed. And so that was what the shady area of the ultrasound was. So she went back to the clinic, and she was furious. And you know, the nurses were apologizing because, you know, that's all they can do. They can't fix it. They can't bring her back. And so the nurses suggested getting an attorney for what happened, for the doctor saying that, you know, she's fine, she'll live. But when she went to go visit the doctor, they had told her that the doctor had already resigned. She gave up her license, and she wasn't a doctor anymore. I guess she knew she did something wrong, or she didn't care enough about her patients, or she was just a bad doctor, and they took it away from her. I don't know how that happens or how that works, but they said she resigned. And so that's what happened with that. That's not all that happened with that. So 6 months after her baby died, she received a letter in the mail from that doctor who resigned, saying that she had surgery for the daughter. The doctor sent the mother a letter saying that her dead daughter had surgery that week, and she was so upset, like so angry. Can you imagine? You're starting to heal. You're barely starting to heal, and then all of a sudden you get this letter, and it's like someone just cut it open, cut your heart open again, or I can't imagine all the stresses and pain she went through. So that's what the story was with that. She told me that story. And let's see here. She said she was telling me her life, and I was just so amazed by her stories. She had such really good stories. She was saying how her oldest daughter left her with her 3 kids. She is married, but she met somebody over Facebook and just left her husband to this guy that she met over Facebook in Georgia. And she left her kids with the grandparents, which is the lady that I met and her husband. And it was just awful because I can't imagine somebody doing that. So then she went on to tell me, like, I can't believe she would do that because, because she's the oldest and she understood everything that happened when she was married to her previous husband. She left her previous husband because he was an abusive husband for 13 years. Like, he beat the kids and he beat the wife and he made the kids watch, and it was just, I can't even imagine what she must have been through. And so she is taking care of her grandbabies and going to school at the same time. So kudos to that lady I met. I didn't ask her name. She didn't ask mine, but just 2 strangers having a friendly or something conversation. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. It kind of like hurt her. I had deja vu while she was talking to me. You know when you have deja vu, you're just like, oh, deja vu, and you just like have to announce it. Well, I didn't, but I was thinking it the entire time. So I thought I'd share that with you guys because it is one of those things that's like a horror story for each situation that you can ever imagine as like a grown adult, like abuse, abortion, death in the family, dysfunctional children. Like, that's like the worst you can have. Now, I'm not for or against abortion. I think that is a very controversial subject, and it just depends on who you're asking. But I agree with this particular abortion because her health was at risk also, and it was a stillbirth, so it's not like it was alive, which is terrible to say, but it wasn't. So, but on a lighter note, this weekend I went home, and on Sunday we went to church. And there were kids at the church. Like, actually, the kids at the church, there's a lot of them. And it was so funny because we were talking to the kid's mom, and he's not very old. I'd say he's about 3, maybe 4 years old at the most. It was just so funny because the kids like to eat and touch and do everything that your parents tell you not to do. But it was so funny because, the steel chairs that like fold and you unfold them and the bottom's right here and the back kind of like, oh, that doesn't look like a chair. Well, it looks like a chair in my angle. Okay, where my arms meet, like right here, that's where the chair is, and then the legs. And anyway, so it was like a steel chair, a metal chair, and the top of it is like round like this. And so he takes his tongue and licks this entire part of the chair, and then he wipes it down with a tissue, and he was cleaning it. It was cute and disgusting all at the same time, but my brother and I were just dying of laughter at how disgustingly funny it was. But yeah, so that's all I have today. I'm about to post not 1, but 2 sign language videos. They're going to be separate so that it's not like one long video and you have to like find the sign again and then go back and forth. So the first one's going to be, actually, I think it's going to be 3 sign videos. Yep. Because I'm so excited and so eager to share all these videos with you guys. So the first one's going to be like a number related sign video. The next one's going to be like time, holidays, things that happen throughout the year kind of videos. And then the third one's going to be a feeling related video. So any feelings, I'm going to do those for you. So, keep a lookout for those. Those will probably be posted, well, within the next, I don't have a clock. Within the next couple, within the next couple hours it'll be posted, so just get excited, and I will see you guys later.